Welcome back to the Football Tragics. It's been a while. We've been on a bit of break with not so good results for your boys in the Cup, Campo and Morty. Well, Morty, you might take yours, but we will jump into, obviously, the games that we did miss. We had Southampton 4, Brentford 1. Campo, what were your thoughts on this game?
That Chelsea striker, Broja, I think his name.
Yep.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I just wonder why Chelsea are throwing all these money on this Lukaku, Werner, when they've got good strikers at the club. He was the difference. Him and Ward-Prowse this game were the absolute difference in this game.
Morty, have you got any comments on obviously what he said first and then the result as a whole?
Chelsea mentality, mate. They just buy everything and anything and hope something sticks. And might have got it wrong lately, so we'll see. But at the end of the day, Southampton just showing up for once. Credit where credit's due. They put on a clinic, but this is the first game you can sit there and go, oh, they've actually taken their chances. We've sat here for the other 21 weeks and questioning what the hell they're doing up front. So slight improvements, maybe just this is the outlier though. So I'll wait till they go on a bit more of a run.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is a bit interesting. You said they finally took their chances, but they still missed a lot of chances. So they're just lucky that Brentford did give them heaps of chances to put away to 4. But I mean, I agree with Campo. The striker was in form. Prowse, he's running that midfield, pulling the strings, and good result for them. Another scary result for Brentford. Again, they still probably have enough points to not go down, but they need to start picking up a win here and there. So moving into a team that I wrote off in round 2, but it's West Ham 2 versus Norwich 0. Morty, I'll go back to you. What are your thoughts on this match?
I expected more, to be honest. So would have not been surprised if the scorelines were flipped, but yeah, there's not much to say. We know I can't sit here and say Norwich suck anymore because just a given. We'd be more of a surprise if they do anything for the rest of this season. And West Ham basically taking it as it goes, a bit of a training run midweek for them. So that's it.
Yeah, Campo, what were your thoughts on that game?
Jared Bowen really stepping up to the plate this season, especially keeping Ben Rama on the bench. He was one penalty missed from a hat-trick. So, but again, it is Norwich. They're going down, and it's Christmas every time you play them.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I can't really say it was Christmas when we played them. We narrowly got past them 1-0, and we probably didn't deserve to win that game. So I'm not going to say it's Christmas because we still have to play them one more time this year. But yeah, routine win for West Ham. Although they do have a game now ahead of Arsenal, it does put them in the top 4 at the moment. So it is a big result. Norwich, what can I say? This game, if you go back through the highlights, I haven't watched the highlights. I watched the game, but I reckon it'll be 3.5 minutes of West Ham having shots and almost scoring goals. So good for West Ham. Shocking for Norwich. As soon as the season finishes and we're done with them, it's going to be a better place in the Premier League. So we will move on to the games this week. This is match week 22. So they are on the screen now. We have Brighton versus Crystal Palace, Manchester City versus Chelsea, Norwich City versus Everton, Wolves versus Southampton, Newcastle versus Watford, Burnley versus Leicester, Villa play United for the second time in a week, West Ham take on Leeds, Liverpool host Brentford, and finishing off with Tottenham Arsenal. So I can't wait to get your view on that, Campo, but we will kick it off. I'll let you go first because you love this team, Campo. Brighton versus Crystal Palace.
I think one team's finding form again in Brighton against a team that's hot and cold. I'm going to lead towards a 2-0 Brighton. I just think if Gallagher's still out and your likes of Zaha still gone and Eze, I just think Brighton have too much for them.
And Morty, what was your thoughts on this game?
Pretty much the same, except I don't think Brighton have enough to score, so I'm going to settle with a 0-0 draw. I think Palace will look at it, go 1 point. That'll do with all those players out. I'll take it and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go Brighton here. I'm going to side with Campo, and in Brighton fashion, it's going to be 0-0 till about the 85th minute, and someone's going to pop up for a goal, maybe even in added time.
There's more.
Who knows?
It's the only one that pops up for that.
Morpie might pop up. Danny Welbeck might pop up. Someone's popping up. Someone's putting the ball in the back of the net, and Brighton will move into that top half or secure their spot in that top half. So moving on to arguably could be the game of the round, one of the game of the rounds, but Manchester City, Chelsea. Now, Morty, obviously, Liverpool are in that little three-way title race. First, what result do you want here? I think it's going to be a draw, but what do you think is going to happen?
No, it will not be. I cannot hope for a draw here. For the sake of the league, we hope Chelsea win this game, because I'll sit here and say if Chelsea lose this game, that is the title wrapped up. Only Liverpool can play them again. That's 3 points. City will slip up one game. You know, they tend to. But that's further down the track, and I guarantee you we'll have another draw by then or something. And
so you want Chelsea to win? You want Chelsea to win, but what is your thoughts on who wins?
I'll never say I want them to. I need them to.
What do you actually think is going to happen from this game? Are you putting it down to a Chelsea win, or do you think it'll go another way?
No, I think this will probably end in a 1-1 draw. I think Chelsea, on paper, will just go, you know what, 1-1 draw. That won't. They'll take it as that. They won't be anything from that. But I think we'll all probably sit here and say, well, that's total done. There's no one other than a slip will take points off Chelsea moving forward. So.
And you know all about slips, but we'll move on to Campo. Campo, what are your thoughts on this?
Funny. Move on.
I just think City, without playing for a while, not being in the cup, and Chelsea playing two full-strength teams, especially so close to the weekend, City's going to have the fresher players, and I think they will. You saw what happened last time. If Chelsea go out and play like the same way they did against City, they don't fight, they don't turn up, they're going to get rolled again. I'm going to go 2-0 City.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with City. I was thinking along those same lines of they did have a big cup match. Obviously, given the result, it wasn't a big game, but they did go fairly strong, almost full strength. I don't see anyone coming close to City. And yes, they're going to drop points, but knowing City, they're going to roll through those top teams and they're going to lose to a team like Norwich, or they're going to draw with Norwich. So
they've got another Palace game. The annual Palace win against City.
Like,
and it happens every
year. You don't see a team like Manchester City in this form lose to a top team. You see them lose to a mid to bottom table. So, hey, give it a couple of weeks.
The Champions League.
Hey, we might be a mid-table team and we might beat them. So I'm going to go 3-1 Man City. I think Chelsea actually open up the scoring. But then from there on in, I think you just piss off City and City come home, blaze in and get the 3 points. So moving into a game that I can't say I'm too excited for. Norwich taking on Everton. I'll go back to you first, Campo. Another loss for Norwich, or do they produce a result?
No, that's going to be a loss for Norwich. Doesn't matter how bad of a team he's playing at the moment. They got Calvert-Lewin back, which is a bonus. Richarlison should be back. But a loss at left back. Digne left. So, again, a loss in defence, but I think just having Calvert-Lewin's too much, and I think they'll win 3-0.
And Morty, what are your thoughts on this game? Do you think Everton get the result? Can Norwich at least get a point maybe, or is it all doom and gloom still?
How good is Rafa? I mean, he's basically destroyed the club from inside out. It's outstanding. He sold arguably their best player and captain at one point. He sat the rest of them out. They're all injured. He's injured their only attacking force. Outstanding work from him. I think Everton will continue to hate him. It's great to see. He must still. Did you see the other game? Apparently, we signed Liverpool jerseys on the sideline.
Yeah, it's definitely a no-no. But I mean, he's done it. Someone's taken photos of it, and they're not going to like him too much.
Really. But at the end of the day, Norwich suck. I'll have to go Everton. Not pretty, but 1-0.
I'm going the complete opposite. This is going to be my out there result. I'm going Everton 4-0. I cannot sit here and say Norwich, besides when they played United, have played good football, because they haven't. West Ham obviously had a goal disallowed. hit the post 3 times. Their keeper for Norwich put off massive saves. I think it was crueling goals. And that was against West Ham, who played terrible. It was a training run, like you said before, Morty. So I'm going to go 4-0, and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to call Dominic Calvert-Lewin hat-trick. I think he's going to really...
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back. He played a couple of weeks ago, missed a penalty.
Yeah.
Richarlison's returned to training. Minna's returned to training. So, yeah, they have lost a player, but they're getting these big names back. And I think, I don't know, I can't even say Norwich are going to get a goal because I don't like him. I want him out of the league. I don't want him back. So we'll leave it there, Norwich relegation, and we'll move into Wolves versus Southampton. Now, you said they need a run of form, Morty. Does the run of form continue, or are Wolves going to prove too good here?
No. Southampton has shown that they cannot. I think it'll end up in a draw, but as I said, Southampton's that winning form that they kind of need to progress up the table is not going to be there. I think it's going to end up 1-1 draw, late Wolves, shithousery, 90 something minute.
How about you, Campo?
If you look at Wolves' previous games, they don't concede goals. They don't score goals often. It's going to be a tight, close game. I'm going to go Wolves 1-0 and Daniel Podence to score the winner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna sit on the fence here. I'm gonna go a 2-2 draw. I think Prowse gets on the score sheet again. I'm gonna say from a free kick, the man loves him. He'll pull out his driver and he'll hit a golf swing to celebrate. But I mean, this is a big game. Obviously, if Southampton can win, they will. Obviously, teams have games in hand, but they will jump into that top 10. So it is a massive result for Southampton if they can pull it off. But I think they are going to have a 2-2 draw. They're going to be happy with it. And it's another point away from that bottom 3. So that will put them 12 points clear of Watford and happy days. So moving on. After an embarrassing result in the cup, we've got Newcastle back at home versus Watford. Does Trippier get his first win? I'll go to you first, Campo. Does Trippier get his first win in a Newcastle shirt, or is it more stress?
Yeah. Nah, I think Newcastle will get the job done here. And I can see it a 2-0 win, and it's going to be Trippier whipping it in to Chris Wood.
So you think Chris Wood comes straight into the squad? Do you think he starts?
They don't have a striker at the moment. I feel like he was a panic buy. We'll weaken a team around us, and we can just overtake Burnley. I genuinely think that's what their game plan was. We'll just try weaken the teams around us, and we overtake them. He has to play, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it is a bit different. Obviously, he's not coming from another league. He's in England, so he should start. And I mean, I kind of disagree. Now, Chris Wood's an interesting one. He's not a big name player that you jump at when you see him signing, but he always pops up with a goal. And you can call Burnley as shit can be, but he somehow gets to double figures and scores goals in crucial times. So I'm not tipping Newcastle because I hate Newcastle. So let's just get past that. I'm going to go Watford 2-1 and more trouble for Newcastle, and Watford move away from that relegation and Newcastle lose more points. And it's a 6-point game because if Newcastle win, they jump him, but I don't see it happening. Morty?
Did that result with Trippier playing scare off anyone else joining that club from overseas?
Well, obviously not Wood. Wood got excited and came over.
Like, Wood would sit there and go, yeah, I understand that. I mean, he's played for Burnley the whole time. I don't even think they play a cup match half the time. So I think, but anyone overseas is going, oh, shit. Well,
I think what it's done is that anyone that does come in just added another zero to the paycheck for each week. That's what it's done.
Basically, yeah. So it's upped it by 100K. So. Don't know what to say. I mean, Watford are going to be without Sarr, and they're going to be without where else do they have up front? So I don't see them scoring, but I don't see Newcastle scoring either. And I mean, Newcastle notorious almost scoring own goals against themselves. So Newcastle continue the slump, go 1-0 Watford of their own doing. Trippier own goal.
I mean, I mean, I'd love that. Oh, could you imagine the scenes if it was a Trippier own goal now? I would
He's done
love
it for
Newcastle
Tottenham.
to lose this game. I would love them to lose this game because this is their one chance to get out of that bottom three this year. And I really don't want them to do it because I think if they do, that's going to be the momentum they need to move forward. So we'll move into a coach that Morty called for his head about 4 years ago and he's still in a job. Burnley taking on
We haven't been doing
Leicester.
this for 4 years, excuse you. We've been 2 years.
Oh, 3 years, 4 years. I reckon you're calling before the pod. So Burnley versus Leicester. Morty, does Burnley
Which
move
manager
further
though?
away?
Dyche or Rodgers? Because he wants both their heads.
There's one that he wants more, and it's definitely Rodgers. He's happy with the other one being there. He definitely wants him gone. So, Morty, what's your thoughts on this game?
Rodgers just doesn't have a clue what's going on in the rest of the thing. Dyche does not shut his bloody mouth in the freaking media. Now, I would knock him out if I was
That's a bit rich with Klopp as your manager, but I'll let you keep going.
Yeah, but when you win, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Sean Dyche, what the hell's he done? Oh,
See, that was our swear bipping. That was our swear bipping. It was just a little bit slow, Campo. So can you train your dog a little bit more? All right.
The bloke they've got one international, and the bloke plays from the other side of the world from NZ, and they just lost him. So I don't give a shit what he says. Leicester, just purely for the Vardy affair, maybe another hat trick would go well. Rodgers, shithousery, one of these blowout scorelines, maybe 5-6-0. Tillerman's on the board again. Love to see.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a good Christmas. A birthday present for Jamie Vardy. He did just turn 35. So, mate, he looks like he's about 25 and had too many scotches. So we'll go with 35.
Just get a few Red Bulls into him in like 20. Don't worry.
I don't think he needs the Red Bulls. Let's be honest. Campo, Leicester win, Burnley win. What do you reckon?
I think Leicester win, but I think it's tight. I think again Burnley will just drag them to the mud, but they do have a bit of flair up top, so I think they will get a goal with Cornet, and I think they'll win 2-1 Leicester.
Cornet won't be there.
Yeah, I mean,
won't he?
What was that, Morty?
Why isn't he playing the African Cup of Nations?
Is that Cornet?
Yeah, I thought he was French. Just one of those.
Cote d'Ivoire, isn't he? Let's do some on.
While we're on now, I might as well check it now. So
if he's not playing, it's 4-0 Leicester.
All right. Well, yes, City star reacts to the perfect start to an AFCON heroic. So
okay, Leicester 4-0.
All right. I mean, I'm glad we got to that. At least we could have talked about this off air, so we didn't look like an idiot just then. But this is a game where we've spoken about it with a few other teams. Burnley need to honestly look at this game and go, we're probably not going to get a win. Let's just, Burnley fashion, park the bus, get that draw. I don't know if they have enough up top. I don't know if the ball will even get to their striker. So they're going to play for a draw. It's going to be ugly, and I'm going to go Leicester 1-0, and let's get Vardy on the score sheet. Let him have a bit of fun, celebrate his birthday, talk a bit of shit to the Burnley fans. That's what he's in the league for, so let's hope it happens, and we'll move on. I'm going to go last here. Aston Villa, Manchester United, second time in a week. Gerrard copped it when he came to Old Trafford. We're now going to their home ground. Morty, you're a Gerrard fan. You could start this one off.
He's getting the band back together. Coutinho masterclass. If he scores one of his goals, it will be all-time bands. That'd be absolute. You'll never live that down. I don't even care if they lose from then on. Just him scoring, that would be outstanding. Yeah, United were not crash hot last time they played. You got the win, but it was shaky. And Villa, new left back. Is he better defensively? Maybe not. Is he better going forward? Yeah, I'd say he is. So some improvements, but yeah, we'll yet to see whether they actually start, whether they come off the bench. Don't know. I think it'll be a good game. 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Campo, more of the same. Do you think Villa take the points? Do you think there's a draw? Do you think United bounce back? Obviously, bring in Ronaldo, arguably back into the lineup. What's your thoughts?
I think Digne will start first of all. I think left back has been an issue for Villa, and they know that. I think Coutinho will be on the bench and come on as a sub. But the way football works, you play a team, you beat them, you verse them the week after, you end up losing.
This is like how West Ham can't back up after Europe, isn't it?
I think so. So I was also sitting on Aston Villa 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't play pretty in that cup, but the most important thing in a cup game is that you make it to the next round. So the less said about some of the performances, aka Rashford, the less said about some of those performances, the better. I think we see a bit of a different lineup. Obviously, Ronaldo will come back into the lineup. Sancho and Greenwood will be left and right. The midfield, well, you surely got to go McTominay, probably Fred, Bruno, and the back line. The back line's interesting now because I think Tellez and Tellez and the lot have pushed Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, so the back line is questionable. And obviously Varane in that centre back. Hopefully it's Lindelof, but it's probably going to be the Fridge Maguire. But
I'm
going to go Phil Jones. I'll tell you what, he's the only player from that game that can hold his head high, even though he made that mistake. Only player that can hold his head high. So I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. 2-1 United, not Villa, because I can't see us keeping a clean sheet. But I think Ronaldo fresh, having that break, gets us the result. So I'm going to go Ronaldo 1 goal. Coutinho 1 goal, give it to you, Morty. And I think it's going to be someone like, who's got a point to prove? Sancho. Let's go Sancho. He's going to score a goal. He's been playing better football, and yeah, I hope so, because I really don't want to listen to, especially our mate Borgie in the group chat, if Gerrard beats United. So we'll move on to the next game.
Can I just
go for
before
it.
we move on? Did you see what Maguire came out in the media with?
Which part? Maguire comes out with a lot of bullshit in the media. I think we signed the wrong Maguire, the one that scored the hat-trick against Sunderland, who he wanted.
The one where he came out saying is, "You get up, the boys. This is not what I came to this club for. I came here to win trophies."
I came to win trophies. Yeah, but this is my thing, and like everyone always says, "Oh, the United fan base is turned against Ronaldo." Did you guys hear what Ronaldo said about where he thinks we should be? He's pretty much come out and said we should be a top 3 club. Could you imagine if a Harry Maguire came out and said, "Yeah, we should be 3rd"? He would get his head ripped off. He would be in the firing line. Fans would be calling for him to get dropped. But Ronaldo comes out and all the people go, so that's the ambition. City and Liverpool, they can finish ahead. That's the ambitions we need to be going for. So, mate, Maguire can't do anything right. But it's Maguire. Like I said, he's a good Fridge.
How funny would it be if he's then dropped for this weekend? Or Phil Jones starting over. Yeah.
I would prefer Phil Jones or Lindelof starting over him. Let's be honest.
The absolute bants if they come out and then trounce and hit like some sort of 5-0 result. Oh, you'd never get back into this team sheet.
I don't know. I reckon we just try and do a swap deal with whoever Sunderland copped a hat-trick from, and we call it a day. But we'll move on. West Ham, Leeds, both attacking teams. Campo, how do you see this one going?
I'm going to... This will be my bold one, and I'm going to say Leeds win 3-1. I don't know why. I just think they'll get up to this
Daniel
game.
James, mate. That's all you need. Daniel James to score a goal.
He won't score a goal. It'll be, I don't even know, Bamford hat-trick. Let's go with that.
Bamford? Mate, is that guy still alive? I haven't heard from him in weeks.
Either have I, but I'm going to say it.
Morty, do you know if Bamford's alive, and what are your thoughts on this game?
He's not alive, but I know Rafinha is, and I got the same feeling. I think Leeds just managed to scrap it. If you look at the rest of the week playing ahead, a lot of the bottom teams are playing each other. They're all fighting it out for 3 points. I think Leeds will look at it and go, we need a win here. It'll push them not clear, but push them a bit further up, push them almost to 14th. Puts them above that little scrap above the relegation zone. Like, they've played all their games other than one. But if you look around them, everyone else around them is like 1, 2, 3 games behind. So they need to pick up some points quick and just get the feeling it might happen this week. So, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, it is interesting. I know Brentford hasn't been playing, but there was talk that he almost made the team sheet for that West Ham Cup tie. So you'd have to think that he is on the lineup or back into at least the bench. But I can't pick Leeds. I cannot pick Leeds in this game. Not even because I don't like him. I just don't see him doing anything. Obviously, yeah, Rafinha's back. He did just get selected for the Brazilian squad, so he's going to be on a bit of a high. I'm gonna go West Ham 2-1. We'll give Rafinha a goal because he's in my fantasy team, and we'll give Mikel Antonio a double because he's in my fantasy team too. And the less said about this game, the better. But it's going to be an absolute attacking spectacle because neither of these teams like to defend. So, Morty, I'm going to let you take the limelight here. It's the last match before we get into the big match of the round, the Tottenham Arsenal. So, Liverpool versus Brentford. What are your thoughts?
Do you want me the Klopp whinging, or do you want the?
Oh, there's no Salah. We played in the cup game. There's no man. Yeah, go give us whatever you want.
No, not my actual Klopp. Just me Henderson. Absolutely, he's literally as useful as a wet blanket.
One of those fire. That wet blanket's pretty helpful.
Uh-huh.
And at the moment, with no Salah and Mane, Finns are on fire. So
he'd find it too heavy for himself to lift up and fucking use. Sorry for the swearing, but the game was this morning. It pissed me off. But
you cannot sit here and blame Henderson for
I
this
don't.
morning's performance.
No, because the problem is our problem wasn't defending because we didn't have to do anything. Our problem is creating, and there was nothing. We can't just go the long ball over the top. It doesn't work when Arsenal parked up shop at the 18-yard line and just the saddle there. And
again, Henderson, I don't think's the issue with that link up. I think that whole midfield was. I mean, you had Fabinho couldn't create to save his life. Milner couldn't create.
I know. But that's what I'm saying though. We stick to the old one. Milner, he'll do a shift. You play one of them. Literally at that midfield, I'd sit here and go, you play one of them at a time, really. And Milner probably can't even play a full 90 these days as a holding mid. Henderson, yeah, you know what? You bring him on. Liverpool are out 1-2-0. He holds on to that lead, and there you go. That's his job done. But when it's a nil or draw, just get him off. Put bloody Curtis Jones or any other young kid on. They'll start wanting the ball. The defense was, chilling back. Anything Trent was just lying up there.
All right, give us. Klopp gives you a call and goes, Morty, who am I playing in the midfield and who am I playing up front? Give us your midfielder and forwards for this game.
For this game, we don't
players are out. You can't take Mane, you can't take Salah. But
I'm not worried about. I think the game needs to open up. I think we need to let the ball come out a bit more. When we're not playing like that, we kind of just the press was just on them. I think honestly, just let Arsenal should have let Arsenal play out a bit more. Let Brentford will try and play out a bit more. So probably our chance is that we will take 3 or 4-0 as redemption for that 3-3 massacre of that game was. But yeah, look, Fabinho, I probably start with Milner and then bring one of the kids on and probably play Curtis Jones. He's just young. He needs some game time. He needs to go. And
I've got to agree with you. I was shocked. I was shocked to not see Curtis Jones in the lineup this morning. Whether that's they're resting him for this weekend, but I can't remember. Did you give you a result, Morty? Was it? Yeah, I'm saying the starting lineup. He didn't come in. I thought he was going to start.
Yeah, I get that because he would have been perfect for that cup tie. Just play him. You're not working out. Bring on Henderson. It's what he's there for. I don't understand the other way around. Our attack is what it is at the moment. We're lacking in further, but that attack was just getting nothing fed to them to do anything with, other than So anyway, we'll move on from that.
What was your result?
I'm going to go 4-0 Liverpool.
4-0 Campo.
Redemption at home.
You've got that little grin on your face like you want to call a Brentford upset or a Brentford draw here. It's that little cheeky grin. What do you think the result's going to be?
I'm jumping on the fence. I'm sitting 2-2. They couldn't hold out Brentford last time with a full strength team. Now they got no attackers, and I reckon they'll still score, but I reckon it'll be 2-2.
I really want to say Brentford 1-0, but I don't know if I can look Morty in the face and say it at the same time. So I'm going to go Liverpool 3-1. I think Jota does get on the score sheet here, if not a double. And if they do start Curtis Jones, I can see him doing that quite early and then obviously bringing Brentford forward. They'll have that space in behind, and I think they win it comfortably. And with City playing Chelsea, they'll already know the result of what's happened. So if City were to drop points, this could be a massive boost for them. They take their energy into that game, and I think they get the job done. But I think the reason we're all here, and this is why I logged back on. This is why I said wait for me before you record. I want to get your thoughts on this game. Obviously, you couldn't give a shit about the cup unless he's made the final. So he's out of the cup. Tottenham versus Arsenal. What are your thoughts, Campo?
On the cup, I was more annoyed that we played 5 first-team players in the second semi-final. Should have just thrown our 15-year-olds out there and get taught a lesson, and then just save all your energy for this game. This is a 6-pointer in the top 4 race. This, in my opinion, means more than a semi-final. So the only thing that I'm happy about is there's no party. Xhaka got sent off, which he's out of the game now. There's no El Nene.
Have they changed the rules? Did the rules change now that or is that just the FA Cup that doesn't count?
It's just because it's a straight red. He misses 2 games now.
Okay, yeah.
So he misses Tottenham and then the next League Cup. Gabriel still hasn't served his suspension in the Prem. He's out. That's 4 big players that could possibly start that aren't there. And they play a full-strength team.
Obviously, Son's a big loss. Is he still out, the muscle injury?
He's out for the rest of the month. But Romero comes back in. Dyer should be back in. Reguilon should be back in. So our defense is solid. I can't see us losing this game. I think we dominate the midfield and we win 3-1 at home.
All right. Morty, what do you think? Obviously, you saw Arsenal could defend today with a player down. We saw when they took the game to Manchester City, they were unlucky that they didn't get a result or be 2 or 3-0 up in that first half. So what are your thoughts on this game?
This is going to be Campo's undoing of his underestimating of Arsenal. Because although, yes, I will say they have a lot of players out, but that just gives more ammo to fuel the fire. Because at the moment, the youngsters are carrying Arsenal on their back, and they on Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, they are on fire as much as you sit here and say they can be. And I think they're going to trouble the hell out of Tottenham. You know, Romero, yes, he is a solid defender. I'm not going to talk shit about everyone at Tottenham, but it's his first game back or second game back, pretty much.
First game.
Yeah, that's a lot to come back in a London derby, North London derby. You're going to bring him back in. I don't know. Does he start? Is he going to start?
He should.
I don't know. Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't. All these players, you bring them in to start in these games without. He's been out for 2 months. It's a long time to be out of the Prem. It's not like a cup game. You know, maybe you should have bring him back for the cup game and give him 20 minutes. So I don't know. I'm as biased as I can be. I hate against Tottenham, but Son does a lot of the damage. Kane, he'll finish something at this point. We've had his fun of him missing his chances, but against an Arsenal, he will take his thing. But producing wise, they've got to get it up there. And I don't know, without Son carrying that ball, Arsenal's shown they can defend, and who better to defend than a big burly Kane that arguably isn't the fastest man. And so I'm going to go Arsenal 2-1.
I'm going to go with a completely biased result here. I need you both to drop points, so I'm going 1-1. Completely biased. I think if there was going to be a winner in this game, it leans more towards Spurs purely because they do have that second leg of the cup game. And if they can get past Liverpool, it's obviously a chance at a trophy. So they're going to have one eye facing towards that second leg, which from memory, what's this game? This game's on the 17th, and then they play 4 days later on the 21st. So they're going to have one eye there. Poor Kane scores his goal. I'm not going to say it was genius by Ramsdale, but he not Ramsdale. Who did he score against?
Kepa.
Was it Kepa? I'm not going to say it's genius, but Kepa got in front of him, and that was already important offside. It just shows you how many fans follow the English Premier League and do not know the offside rule, because Twitter went into meltdown of, it shouldn't be offside. How is that not a goal? Not knowing that it's the last man. So if you're one of those players or one of those fans, turn off the TV, don't watch another game.
But surely they learned that from FIFA. Like, come on.
I don't know.
Given.
That was my favourite part of the match, if I'm being honest. I couldn't have cared who won that cup game, but just watching Twitter explode when that happened, hilarious. But
I didn't even know what happened until after the game. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Campo, you said about 6 weeks ago you didn't care about the cup. So, I mean, I care about it. It's because it's a cup. That sounds a bit petty, but I'll take any cup that United can get right now. So,
but that's Tottenham talking. They're so used to not winning. They're just the top 4 race is more important. You said it yourself.
100% it is.
I did actually read something that said since Tottenham last won a trophy, Conte's taken a relegation battle in Serie B side, won the title, went to Chelsea, won it in the first year, also won the title for the first time in 10 years with Inter that wasn't Juventus, and now he's come to Tottenham and he can't win a Carline Cup. So, say what you say, it's probably one of his toughest challenges. It's one of his toughest challenges of the last few years, but I'm going to go 1-1, and then it probably is his toughest, and I'm going to stick to 1-1 because I need that result so we can get closer to the top 4. But unless you boys have anything else to say, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Obviously, we've been the Football Tragics, and we'll see you soon.
Come on, you Spurs, baby.